Hey friends, Cherie here from Cherie's Alchemy. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 9. I'm in the kitchen. I did another little collaboration style video between my two channels where I'm cooking up something in the kitchen and then I sewed up some things in the sewing room. So if you want to see what I sewed up, stay tuned. Okay, so for today's project, we're going to actually use the Simplicity pattern. It is S9357. Check your store ads. I know lots of stores are going to be having or are already having sales running. I'm going to try to share at the end of this video some more patterns that I think you should consider. I'm going to try and check the ads first and see what's going to go on sale. Because, you know, you got a couple more weeks to get these projects sewn up and ready to get off for gifts, okay? So what I'm going to be using this pattern for, I'm going to be making the apron. I'm going to make the tea towel, which is UD. The apron is I think, yes. And then I'm going to use the pattern piece for this placemat B to make something else. I mean, it can be used as a placemat, but I'm going to be using it for something else, and I'll get into that. I wanted to also point out for Vlogmas Day 8, I shared a little collection for table settings. I've already shown you how to make napkins. I've shown you how to do coasters. I talked you through how to do the table runner yesterday. Well, I just want to point out to you, this pattern actually has pattern pieces that you can use if you would rather work from a pattern piece. I talked you through how to measure things yourself, but this one actually has the pattern pieces that you can use and you can make adjustments from there. It also includes the pattern pieces to make these little pumpkins. You can make these little Christmas hats for decorating the Christmas table. Let me just flip this over and show you. So you get the table runner, napkins, you get tea towel, you get placemats, the pumpkins, the Christmas hats, an apron, and the apron has this like little pouch thing you can put on top. I think that's what that was. I can't remember. But anyway, it looks like on the front. Maybe that's a tea towel just flipped up. I don't know what this is right here, honestly. It looks like some belt bag that you put on, but I'm not doing all that. Okay, so let me get to pinning and cutting. Okay, so once again, since this is Vlogmas, I'm not going to go through like everything here because I don't want the video to be too long, but I will just try to demonstrate a little bit of step-by-step on this one particular project. This is going to be a smaller hot pad that I can put one of my Dutch ovens on the table. So again, I have the same fabrics. This is the lining fabric or the backside fabric. This is my main print, which I fussy cut so that I'll have the medallion in the middle, and then this is a 12-inch square that I cut, and I just freehand cut this. And then I have cotton batting, and then I have this kind of thinsulate material. So this is designed to maintain either hot or cold temperatures. So if you're using it, say, to make like one of those grocery bags where you're going to put your products in to stay cool, you don't need to add this layer of batting. But if you're using it for heat purposes, it wants you to sandwich batting between your fabric and this so that it actually can become more heat resistant and can trap heat better. Okay, so for one of these hot pads, I'm going to have the outer fabric. Then I'm going to have the cotton batting. Then I'm going to have this. Then I'm going to have the thin slate. Then I'm going to have another cotton batting. All right. And then I'm going to have, and then I'll have the lining. So I'm gonna get this all sandwiched together and I'll show you, because that may have been confusing. Hold on. Okay, so let me show you the layers. So this is my outer fabric. Then I have the cotton batting. Then I have my thin slate material. Then I have cotton batting again. And then I have the reverse side of the fabric, which will be the back of my hot pad. Now, if you were going to just quilt this down, stitch this down, and then use like bias trim around the border, you would leave this like this. You would pin it, baste it, whatever you want to do, and go ahead and quilt this like this. And then put your bias trim around it. I'm not doing all that today for the sake of time. I'm going to do the turn out method. So I'm going to do mine like this. Let me show you. So I'm going to take the first 3 layers, which are the outer fabric, the batting, and the thin slate material. I'm going to lift that up and put that down. And now I'm going to put this like this on top. So I have my reverse side fabric and my outer fabric touching, and then I have the batting. And I'm going to sew this together just like I've been showing you guys all through Vlogmas with the napkins and everything. I'm going to pin this down. I'm going to sew around all 4 sides, leaving an opening so I can turn this right side out, and then I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, so I'm back here with my little square all sewn up. You can see I left my opening as usual. I'm going to not only trim these corners, but then I'm also going to go in, I'm going to trim this batting as well as that batting and this thin slate down as close as I can to the seam line. As close as I can to the seam line, just leaving these 2 thinner fabric pieces, because you don't want all that bulk when you turn your hot pad right side out, okay? So let me get that done and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I got that trim back. So you see how I got as close as I could. I just have mostly the fabric poking out. And this is the reverse side. I cut that all back as close as I could. So now I'm going to turn this right side out, get it ironed, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, friends, so here she is, turned right side out, all pressed down. Here's the reverse side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm first going to just stitch all the way around the perimeter. And then I'm going to come and just do stitches straight down this way, and then stitches across. Just so I'm just going to quilt stitch a grid. Okay, let me get that done. Okay, so here she is all stitched down and womply. I got a lot of strings to go in here and cut off. I changed my mind, and instead of doing just like the regular, you know, cross pattern, I decided to do it on a diagonal. So that's what you see here. And I just kind of freehanded it, you know. This is for me. This is just to get through to show you on Vlogmas. But you should use a ruler and mark your grids so that you make sure your lines are straight and evenly spaced, okay? This is pretty close, not perfect, but it's okay for me. All right, let me get the strings cut. I'm going to get this pressed. I'm going to get the rest of them done. I have 4 more to do, and then I'll be back to show you all the things that I have to share with you today on Vlogmas Day 9. Placemat. I got my microgreens falling everywhere. Oh my gosh. I'm so hungry. But you can see this is quilted, and this is just basically the size of the placemat. I used the placemat pattern piece that's from that pattern that I shared. And just, like I said, use the batting and the thin slate so that this would make it a little bit more, you know, heat resistant. So you're not scorching your tabletop. Here is the lovely kitchen towel. Again, this is pretty basic. It's basically just a large rectangular napkin, right? So this was sewn together the same way that I showed you in Vlogmas Day 2 to make the napkins. And then I showed you already on the cutting table, but here is the smaller, like little heating pad. You know, you could put a little pot on there. You could put your teapot on there. You could just put like a hot plate, you know, out of the oven, etc. So here it is. You can see this is a 10-inch pie pan on here. And then you can see I still have room for a saucer basically. So you could put a small roasting pan on here, certainly a baking dish or a baking tray, and just have this on the table and protect your, especially if you have a wooden table, protect your wooden table. And then you can, you know, you saw the smaller size one. And you can make these any size you want. I made this one to fit one of my small saucepan pots that I often bring to the table. And so just play around with the sizes. Okay, the final thing I'm going to show you is the apron. Let's get to the mannequin so I can show you the apron. Okay, my friends, and then last but not least, here is the apron. It's actually a cute little apron. It was made to be lined, but I opted not to do that. And at some point in the video, I said I thought that there was like a pouch that you put on the front. No, it was lined. And then you put a button here at the center. And that button allowed you to bring this up and button it up here. And basically you would turn your apron into like a little pouch around your waist. I had zero interest in doing that. So I left off the button. And I did not line mine. I just hemmed around the border, around the edge rather. And yeah, I lengthened the waist tie just a little bit. My mannequin's a little thick-waisted, y'all. But I added on about 6 inches on both ends of the tie because I like to tie my aprons in front and not in the back. So I made it a little bit longer so I could wrap it back around to the front and then do this little knot in the front. So you'll see me at some point next week during Vlogmas wearing this apron, okay? But I just want to show you, I think this is actually a really nice pattern to get if you are interested in sewing these things for yourself or to whip up some gifts. All of these things were very fast. You don't have to do the quilting like I did, you know, turning those things into kind of hot pads. You know, you could just use that pattern to make the placemats and napkins and table runners and apron and all the other things that's on there. Okay? All right, that's it for Vlogmas Day 9. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, friends, so I hope you enjoyed Vlogmas Day 9 over here on Cherie's Alchemy. If you want to see my recipe for a gluten-free vegetarian quiche, be sure to check out my home and garden channel at Home with Cherie. I shared that recipe today. And I have here my quiche is topped with some microgreens. The smaller ones in the middle are watercress microgreens. And the larger ones are a blend called Mellow Yellow. And these are all grown by me in my indoor garden. So I'm going to go sit and enjoy this little lunch while I edit these videos. I thank you for watching. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 10, which is going to be a very special day. All right, take care. Bye-bye.